Welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. Today we are at TOS Symposium 2018. Hamza!
Yay, quite excited!
Today we are going to be asking leaders questions that have been bothering our minds for far too long.
Yes.
We're going to be holding them accountable regarding the policies and programs that they have pledged to and they have campaigned on for so long. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fantastic event. Don't go anywhere.
Stay with us.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Osasu Show. Now that's what you hear every time you tune in to watch the Osasu Show. Today we are at the Osasu Show Symposium 2018. My name is Inafitas.
And I'm Jack Paul Kweku. The theme of this year's symposium is Nigeria Rising. It's time establishing social accountability between the electorate and the leaders. So Ina, what are you expecting today from the show?
Well, you know what? Exactly, just like the team says, I'm expecting an interactive session and also an educative one as well.
Definitely.
Seeing youth, just being active in the society, I think is a fantastic platform.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to so many interesting questions and a chance for the youth to get to speak to their potential leaders. I think that would be great.
Well, that is for inside though, because on the red carpet, we're going to be having some, exclusive interviews, talking to the people that are going to be coming on the show, and we hope we have fun while we're doing that.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to having an amazing time. Stay tuned.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. Of what value is this event to Nigerians?
So I think what Osasu Show is doing is taking the conversation off the media space and bringing it to the real space, and it will provide platform, and I hope that whatever comes out of here will enrich further the policy conversations around how to improve our country.
I believe the entire symposium is shaped around the bigger presidential voices and all the other people who are coming to leadership and what their agenda is. So it's actually more like, hey guys, what are you going to do for us?
At this point, I want to recognize the representative of the President, Muhammadu Buhari. He's being represented by Festus Kiyamo. Thank you so much for coming. Want to recognize the representative of His Excellency, Atiku Abubakar. He's being represented by Shegun Showumi. I'd like to also recognize the presence of the Yali Network, the coordinator for Yali Network, Ovo Otarigo. The presidential candidate of the Yes Party is also here with us, Ali Shoyode.
The spirit behind our gathering here today is a young lady that I'm very proud of, very independent, ready to learn, an activist. She believes we can get it done in Nigeria. Congratulations again.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to welcome you here to the second edition of the Osasu Show Symposium. The men and women that have made it a priority to be here today speaks volume of our collective desire to build a progressive nation where peace, justice, and equity prevails. Last year, we successfully organized the maiden edition of this symposium themed the new economy and its impact on less privileged citizens. There was a general consensus that leadership must translate to taking responsibility and building a legacy of stewardship and accountability. Many of those who participated in last year's symposium have since conversed for the passage of critical legislation that will ensure youth participation in governance. So, as aptly said by the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, the energy of youth can spark economies. This is why we were delighted that a short while after our maiden edition, the Not Too Young to Run bill became an act. Many thanks to the members of the National Assembly, but I would like to specially salute our young men and women for their unstinting dedication. You see, equally deserving of commendation is the People's Candidate Initiative, which was launched by the Osasu Show in collaboration with Connected Development. This sought to increase citizens' participation in the primary electoral process. Our leaders, on the other hand, have been held to account in regards to the implementation of policies and proposals they made on this very platform. The Honorable Minister of Transportation pledged to work in earnest to see to the completion and rehabilitation of more railway lines. Today, we not only have Abuja to Kaduna, we also have Itakpe to Warri, and in a few months' time, Lagos to Ibadan as well. The Executive Governor of Abia State is empowering young people to become entrepreneurs and manufacturers through financing and overseas training. But despite these accomplishments, the success of last year's symposium revealed a critical need to establish trust between the electorate and public service holders. Therefore, as the 2019 general elections approaches, we're reminded to exercise our universal suffrage as citizens of Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari, Osasu and myself, Mr. Chido, a trader in the Garki market, are each entitled to just one vote. This goes to show our shared importance in the context of a greater Nigeria. Therefore, government at all times must reinforce our common equality. Equality of rights, equality of opportunities, but most importantly, equality of hope. This is what made a young boy born in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State with no shoes in his youth and less than $2 to his name to dream of becoming president, and he actually accomplished it. You see, the vision our leaders must have, and I believe it's the vision that animates the hearts of every patriotic Nigerian, such as myself, is a deep commitment to equality irrespective of ethnic, tribal, religious, or political affiliation. This is why we're here today at the second edition of the Osasu Show Symposium, themed Nigeria Rising, It's Time. Establishing social accountability between the electorate and leaders. The theme, Nigeria Rising, speaks to considerable social and economic gains heralded by growth in gross domestic products, reduction in poverty, and respect for citizens' rights. Nigeria Rising is our goal as we aim for structural changes, macroeconomic improvements, and a growing middle-class population in Nigeria. As a people, we must develop a conviction and passion in the resolution that a great Nigeria is non-negotiable. We must fight to earn our right of place amongst other committee of nations. We can no longer afford to settle for less. In the 21st century, Nigeria demands leaders that are knowledgeable, leaders that have the ability and vision to think of the future, thinking in terms of what needs to be done now to cope successfully with what the future will bring. Nonetheless, when cynics question the possibility of Nigeria's greatness, we must, like the phoenix, rise from the ashes and demonstrate more with our actions than words. We must use our citizens' power to press for the best, because then and only then can we prove through our resolve and commitment that we will not relent until we make Nigeria truly great. Today, we must make a collective decision to place Nigeria over and above our personal desires, over and above our political affiliations. We must rally good leaders to resist anything that attempts to tear us apart, to defy anyone that threatens our security as a nation. I am compelled to remind us all that we're collectively deserving of our leaders. Therefore, it's our duty and obligation to demand accountability, transparency, and excellence. You see, the world will no longer wait for a Nigeria that continues to connive in its own failure. It's time we move past catchy slogans and self-praise as the giant of Africa, because we must put in the work. As the Nigerian author Idowu Koyenikon once said, your pride in your country should not come after your country has become great, but your country should become great because of your pride in it. The 2019 general elections gives us a compelling opportunity to make our voices heard. Leaders, you must restrict your campaign to the issues and avoid divisive rhetoric. As for we, the electorate, we will vote along development lines, rather than ethnic, tribal, or regional stratification. We will collectively and lawfully resist any policies or actions that are inimical to our constitutionally entrenched rights as citizens of Nigeria. We will say no to vote buying and any such allurement that would tempt us to trade our destiny for a mesh of porridge. We're a country that boasts of love for God, therefore we will prove this by voting our conscience, knowing that posterity will judge us the same way it will judge our leaders. So as we gather here today to brainstorm, to deliberate, to ask and answer questions on how to propel Nigeria to greater heights, I enjoin us to seize this very opportunity to rise. Thank you so much for listening. God bless you and long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Before we start asking questions, I would like to introduce our presidential candidates and our presidential candidate representation. I'd like to start by adding, however, that for all our political parties that have representation, we will pretend that you're the candidates, and whatever you say today, we will use as the party line. Because I think that it's important for us to have a level playing field. Do we agree? Excellent. And I'll start with Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, and the question is for all the candidates. Why do you want to be president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and what uniquely makes you strong for this job?
I really want to lead a process of rescuing our country from the precipice in which it finds itself. You earlier or someone else had indicated that we becoming the capital, the world capital for extreme poverty is a slur on all of us. That India, which is 7 times our population, has now come behind us in terms of that is terrible. I also believe that I am positioned to solving this problem because I do know critically what it takes for societies to grow, for societies to achieve inclusive growth. I know exactly in terms of my competence, my character, and my capacity that I am well positioned to find solutions to the problems that ail us.
As at now, being not only the country with the highest number of poor people, but also the highest number of out-of-school children, the highest number of women, maternal death. I'm here because I think I'm pretty much the most qualified person. I've done a lot more work in researching Nigeria than most people in the fray. I've written about 3,000 articles or more about the subject of Nigeria, 6 books out, and also engaging across the spectrum. So for this reason, I'm stepping forward to say, yes, we can do it. Thank you very much.
We must be embarrassed that Rwanda is doing financial inclusion more than Nigeria. We must be embarrassed that Ghanaians are taking pawns on us just because we choose to always insist we're going to take the easy way out. We have to smell the coffee. We need to grow our economy. We need to get ourselves united. Who's going to pity us when we start slaughtering our own necks? Everybody's sending us rice from their own country just because we have the largest number of IDP, internally displaced people in a country that is not at war. And some government official is telling us stories about the crime around even stealing the rice or not being able to account for the rice. We have a lot of issues. We have a lot of issues with crisis in the country. Ask them, where's the money for NEMA? And I'm not even here for all of that. Look, we will truly grow the Nigerian economy because we know how. Our track record speaks for us. Human memory is very short, and therefore it's easy for Nigerians to forget that you didn't have such a big economy in 1999 when Atiku Abubakar and Obasanjo took over. You were a debtor nation. It was paid by creative ingenious of leaders who want to serve you again. You have brought those who have taken over power after that have run the country now into a bigger crisis. Nigerians were clapping and laughing. They didn't want Jonathan, our last president. Everybody thought that they could latch on to the hope of one man being able to do so much. You are the witnesses of what has happened to our lives now. We have lost about 12 million jobs as the last count when we're supposed to be creating jobs. People are dying every day. It has become exceedingly difficult for anybody to make a small journey from Abuja to Jos and not even get lost. We just found the body of a former general. Are we not supposed to be embarrassed by that? And the only way to solve it is first of all to call ourselves as Nigerians and say to ourselves, we are the most populous black nation in the world. How can people be asking us, nations that should respect us, make comments like we're criminally corrupt in front of our president? Do you blame them? When he would stand on international podiums and say Nigerians are mad people, who does that to his people? Now we're saying to you that for us to be able to get this country to work again, you need a leader. You need a leader that first of all understands that all Nigerians matter. And when you bounce up all of this, together with the fact that he's been in the civil service, he's been a former vice president, he's a consummate author, he speaks to restructuring. I dare tell you, nobody else can be president now than Atiku Abubakar.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, candidates and representatives. Citizens, it's your turn.
What we want in this country, let them do road. They have started. I can see Amechi there, a minister. Let them do road. You people do road, do water. Give us water. Give us light. Give us education. Give us hospital. Then we use our hand to do the remaining one.
Let me thank the SDP woman. We must thank her. She said power has improved. Under them, $16 billion. We had 3,000 megawatts of power. Now we have 7,000. We all go to Kaduna. I should talk to them. Okay, I'll talk to them. I should talk to them.
As I speak to you, in a single day, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, returned and declined 15 bills in one day. It's never happened anywhere in the world. These are bills that have to do with employment. These are bills that have to do with the economy. These are bills that have to do with national security. 15 bills returned and declined by the president in one day. And I can bet my liver that the president did not go through those bills.
You know he didn't pass the budget. They didn't pass the budget. Listen, it's good you listen so that I can hear the argument and stop being euphoric. They passed the budget in September. 4 months to the end of the year. 4 months to the end of the year. And listen. They want a debate. They want a debate. You know, it's easy to talk. It's easy. Just listen. Now, the Federal Republic of Nigeria expects the budget from the National Assembly. Early enough, the National Assembly sits down and writes projects to their villages. I want to do a road to Kogi. Somebody takes that. So my village is to Kogi. So divert the road this way. So you're going to Kogi. A man takes me to Nasarawa or Niger just to get to Kogi and puts this in the budget because I don't have power to do budget. The federal government gives me 200 and something billion naira for railway. Somebody takes away 67 billion and shares to his villages. He's here.
Normally, he is more eloquent than this. Huh? Normally, he will speak with precision than this. But you know, when you are not saying the truth, it will never flow.
Mr. Minister, Honorable Minister, with all due respect, this is your job. You have been hired to do this job. If you are incapable of doing it, please step aside. We are young. I have the strength to do it. no longer take this impunity. We will no longer take this enough is enough.
The 2019 election is between PDP and APC. And I will tell you why.
Solutions,
the reason,
please.
Hold on, the solutions now. The reason why I will tell you is that Auntie Obi is here. She's my auntie. But I'm interested in knowing who our polling unit agents are in Kano. Who our polling unit agents are in Jigawa. Who are polling unit agents, because there are close to 120,000 polling units in the country. Elections even in America is not wishful thinking or oratory. You can therefore not win the presidential election in Nigeria by just merely having a beautiful manifesto. No, the APC is in government in the center. They have thousands of people in polling units. They have structures all over the country. The PDP has structures all over the country. In America, you need money to run election in America. You need agents at polling units. You can't just wake up. 6 months ago, we didn't know you were running for president. Today, you say you want to be president. How? How? Anyone who does not tell himself the truth cannot say the truth to the world. Anyone. So the first responsibility you have as citizens is to first tell yourself the truth. Even if the whole world is deceiving you, you must never deceive yourself. The APC today has shown that they are not willing to do free and fair. Look at Edo, look at Ondo, look at Osun, look at what they did to Fayose, a sitting governor. They tear gassed him to the point that Fayose was shouting, "I'm in pains, I'm in severe pains." So who is the agent that will prevent them a box of Auntie Obi in Kano?
Dr. Ekpeazu, I am interested in the numbers and your track record in terms of education and health for Abia State. At Sokoro General Hospital, we've gradually turned it into a detention facility for women who cannot pay for their bills after they birth their children. What is the situation in Abia State?
There is a World Bank statistics that says that if parents spend more than 30% of their monthly income on fees for their children, that it will be difficult for those parents to walk out of poverty. Therefore, for us, by way of strategy, we intend to strengthen public schools, and that is what we have been doing. And as I speak today, and I stand to be corrected, Abia is perhaps the only state in our zone that is feeding from primary 1 to 6, not primary 1 to 3.
Thank you, sir.
Most time we always focus on federal government budget. But every local government have budget, every state have budget. Do you know what is in this budget for you? And most times they don't know. I've traveled across Nigeria and it's shocking to tell you that we are the ones that actually break the news to people that you have a 9 million naira for your primary health care center as captured in your local government budget. The ruling elite keep hiding those information because that information is the real power that keeps them below that poverty line.
This is the second symposium. I pray that we'll live to see the third, because at that point, we'll be doing beyond what we are doing now. We'll be asking for accountability and transparency. Tell us what you've done, and that way you'll be in the books, in the record books of this country, having contributed your own quota. Young, all of us together, after the count of 3. 1, 2, United Nigeria!
Welcome back. I believe you enjoyed what you saw. And you all know that these events have now created that ground for citizens to determine not just their future, but the fate of today.
Yes, Hamza. As you could see, leaders were asked very tough questions. They were put on the spot and they had to answer. And that's what the Osasu Show Symposium is all about. So as the 2019 elections are just around the corner, we're reminded again to keep on conversations like this, keep on challenging our leaders to ensure that we get not just the political answer for them, but the truthful, factual responses that would shape our decisions when we go to the voting booth. That's it. Follow us on social media at The Osasu Show, at TOS TV Network, at Osasu Manager, and we'll see you next week. Cheers!